Well, as you see in front of us, dear listeners, audio listeners, we're going to give you a audio representation of what's about to happen. But Mogan has sitting in front of her a box. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children action figures from Play Arts. It is the figure of who?
Vincent Valentine?
Ooh, appropriate.
Very appropriate.
Being that this is the day before Valentine's Day. Dear listeners, this is video game related, so bear with us for a little while. For Mogan is doing a little unboxing of this figure. But thanks for joining us today on Team Chat Podcast, a video game show where we talk about games and do unboxing for this episode only. You can listen to new episodes on Thursdays. That crinkle is loud. ASMR fans, you're getting an earful.
There we go.
There you go. That's gentle. That's great. But you can listen to new episodes on Thursdays. Thursday mornings. You can listen to those episodes on podcast services around the World Wide Web, as well as watch a video version of each episode over on our YouTube channel. Links for all that are in the description below. You can also find us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Join our Discord server where we have a lot of great conversations talking about the show and video games and non-video game related topics when we're not here recording. And finally, if you'd like to be a really cool person.
Yeah, that's the phrasing we're going to go with from now on.
And would like to help make the show bigger and better, you can head over to patreon.com/teamchatpodcast.
You want to be a cool kid, right? Just take these drugs and you'll be a cool kid.
Just take the red or blue pill and follow us down the rabbit hole. But if you would like, I tried to stall long enough, but I could not.
Okay, well, you did
But if you would like to join, go to patreon.com. Are you almost done? Do I have to keep
Yes,
this up?
no, I'm done.
Okay, all right. So if you'd like to head over to patreon.com/teamchatpodcast, we were trying for a little ASMR opening there. Yeah. But if you'd like to support the show and make it bigger and better, you can head over to patreon.com/teamchatpodcast, just like Elise F., Zach S., Mariah S., Susan M., James K., Ben W., Michael B., Fuchsia Rascal, Andrew M., Michael S., Brandon W., and our latest patron, Super Saiyan Ace.
Thank you so much, Super Saiyan.
Our
We really
brand new
appreciate
patron.
it.
Thank you very much. But if you become a patron of the show, you get the episodes early before their general Thursday release and access to a private channel on our Discord server, the Rogues Gallery, as well as any extra bits of content that we put out. Well, you get it first. But if you can't do that, that's no big deal at all. We totally understand. And there's a lot of other great ways that you can help support the show that don't require the monetary gift. And like telling your friends, writing us reviews, subscribing wherever you listen to or watch the show, just being a fan of Team Chat. That's pretty much all you got to do. And for each and every one of our patrons, viewers, listeners alike, we love you. Thank you for being here. Heart emojis.
Heart emoji. Smooches.
But let's look at this character real quick. That's a pretty sweet
figure,
huh? Figure right there.
Don't mind. So we just unboxed Sephiroth earlier too.
Sephiroth.
I've had these since I think I got them at an anime convention I think I was in high school.
Oh, really?
So these would
around.
really be about like 15, because Advent Children came out when I was in high school, and me and the anime club went to go see it in theaters.
That doesn't surprise me at all. That you're part of the anime
no,
club.
of course not. I was definitely in the anime club, but this was at my first high school. That's right. So this was when I still lived in Tennessee before we moved to Kentucky. So this would have been when I was 14 or 15. So these guys are over 15 years old now.
That's really cool.
But yes, this is Vincent Valentine, very appropriate given the time of the year. I boxed them away at some point, presumably when I went to college, and forgot about them for a very long time. Finally remembered that I had them, and finally found the box that I had put them in. And somehow they were in their boxes. They're both so dusty. What happened?
Dust is small. It just gets through the cracks.
They were not only in their boxes and in their plastic, they were in another box. How did all of this dust get to them? I don't understand. But look, his cloak is like soft vinyl, so it's got motion to it.
Oh yeah.
Check this out.
It's all torn and ragged.
On the hilt of his gun, he's got his articulated cross charm. There was actually
That's cool.
a Vincent-specific spin-off game called Dirge of Cerberus that came out many years ago.
Yeah.
It was supposedly horrible.
Never played it.
Terrible. Some people loved it, but I think it was mostly for maybe the comical cheese factor,
Sure.
because it was supposedly god-awful.
Oh, okay. Well,
But yeah, if you are a big fan of Vincent Valentine and haven't yet played Dirge of Cerberus, give it a shot. You'll probably
Try
like
it out.
Yeah,
See
you'll
what-
probably
see
get
what you
something
think.
out of it. I've heard the plot is just batshit crazy, which also tracks with Final Fantasy.
I was about to
so
say that doesn't seem that
too
far off. Awesome. Well, that's really cool. That's super cool.
down here.
Video viewers and audio listeners, you should jump over to the video over on youtube.com/teamchatpodcast, because you'll notice we've made some recent updates to the wall behind us and everything. Being that Mogan finally has some solid representation
Yeah, I
now
finally
on her
found.
shelves.
I found and brought all of my merch so that
So
I
there's
can.
the Sephiroth.
Yeah, here's my fancy. He's so
He's really
beautiful.
cool, too.
Look at how hot he is.
Woo, looks good.
ladies. Sorry, he's
Gentleman.
taken by Cloud.
And then we got like a Luma, a crafted Yoshi.
You want to
Yarny,
know a
I
fun
guess?
thing? I bought this Luma from this was a handmade Luma that I bought off of DeviantArt.
Oh,
This was back in the
wow. That
this-
looks official.
This guy's pre-Etsy. Etsy wasn't around back then, so the only people that were like making shit that you could buy online that was super weeb-tastic, those people were on DeviantArt.
And there
I
you
bought
go.
this one, a yellow one, and a blue one. We've decided to name this one Starburst because it's the color of a pink starburst.
Or Star Burns, if you're feeling like the community
No,
reference.
Rejected. I do like Starburst.
Right? He's so funny.
Oh god, get back in there.
Oh, if you can do it without knocking anything over, it's going to be great. Wow, you're so good. Talent. Then we got some Splatoon amiibos up in there too.
Some Splamiibos, if you will.
Splamiibos. But yeah, some
I'm really
cool stuff.
excited
And we readjusted too. We got the kid from Bastion. We got his art. So now just see the whole thing instead of just his feet because it was up there. Now with that Nintendo Power Super Star Wars magazine there and just all the good stuff. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff happening. You should check it out over on the youtube.com.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. But you know what also is awesome? Well, video games, the thing we've been talking about already.
Yeah,
But before we jump into the main topic, because we've got a good first impressions coming up for you here in a little bit, let's get a little bit of news and what's coming out soon in our moment with Mogan.
So as of today, Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection, is coming to Switch, as
Very
they just
cool.
recently announced in the Nintendo Direct. The King of Fighters, Roman numerals, the King of Fighters 15, wow. King of Fighters 15 is coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PC. Total War, Warhammer 3 is coming out for PC February 17th as well. The game that obviously everybody actually wants to come out, Horizon Forbidden West.
A day away. Well, at the time you're listening to this, it's coming out
Yeah.
in a mere few hours.
Yeah, mere
Oh,
hours.
I can't wait. I told myself, Mogan, quick aside before we get to the rest of the dates, I told myself, no more. I'm done. Blackout. I don't want to. I don't want to
okay.
know anything else about it. Then the bastards, they got me. They released a cinematic trailer for the game,
yeah, I
like
saw
on
that.
last Friday, and a buddy of mine sent it to me. Michael, he sent it to me, and I was just like, is this okay? Can I watch this? Is it give you anything new? And he's like, no, it doesn't.
Oh, thank God.
And so I watched it. But he lied. It definitely hints at something at the end. Not in a bad way. Like not where I was
God.
like, it got me more excited.
Okay.
But it was one of those things I was like, oh no. So I can tell you what that moment was. I'm going to tell you anyway because it was really
Okay,
cool. There's a
So mild spoiler for anybody that might not
wanna
want to know
black out.
something.
This is
from
this
a
is-
trailer.
yes, a
Tune
cinematic
out for
trailer.
1 to 2 minutes.
for Horizon Forbidden West. At the very end of the trailer, there's a pterodactyl machine that comes up to you and lands next to you, and Aloy kind of like pets or like motions towards. Highly, I think, implying that you're going to get to fly
It's Pokemon.
on a pterodactyl.
Yeah, it's Aloy goes Pokemon. Okay.
What is this game going to be? Like, that's
That
incredible.
would be awesome.
Wouldn't
Like,
that
if you
be? Like,
actually
they
get
showed
to
off the
do-
glider, but like, if you got to fly
That would be
on a
awesome.
pterodactyl?
I feel like that would feel very. Do you remember the Panzer Dragoon games? Like
Yes.
I feel like
Never played, but I know what
I'm
you're talking about.
picturing is Panzer Dragoon Orta, but with Aloy
Right?
and a robot
I
pterodactyl.
mean, I could have totally misread the situation, but I saw that trailer and I was just like, I'm going to get to fly
This-
on a dinosaur.
This is not an intentional pun. I just have to say it this way. That sounds like the most metal shit ever. That sounds so
literally metal shit
Yeah.
because you're on a metal machine
Yeah,
flying around.
amazing.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for Horizon.
So,
Forbidden West.
anyways,
what else is coming?
So just a reminder, it is available for PlayStation 5 and PS4, and if you get the PS4 version, you can upgrade to PS5 for free.
Very cool.
So don't be afraid to get the PS4 version if you don't have a PS5 yet. And reportedly, all of like the previews and early reviews reviews have said that the PS4 version holds up, that it's not a significant downgrade or that there's not a big difference in quality between PS4 and 5. So
I know you're just probably going to be missing out on that, like the performance mode or like the frame rate differences and stuff like that. But I mean, games on the PS4 look amazing.
They still look really good.
They look amazing on the PS5 too. Like,
yeah.
I definitely don't think you're going to be missing out too bad if you have it on.
So
don't have it on the PS5.
unlucky for the rest of these games that they're coming out around the same time.
Right?
Destiny 2: The Witch Queen, one of the many Destiny DLC, is coming out for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC on the 22nd. Monarch comes out for PlayStation 5 and 4, Switch and PC on the 22nd as well. So does Sol Cresta, and that Sol is an SOL, like the sun. Sol Cresta for PS4, Switch, and PC the 22nd, and then rounding us out for the 23rd is Edge of Eternity for the Switch. And that's everything coming soon.
Very cool. Well, now I know we don't have to spend a lot of time on it because I know we watched the thing live and had a great reactions video to the whole thing that you can go watch over on our YouTube channel of the Nintendo Direct for February, where they were talking about games coming out mostly in the Q1 of 2022 and what we can expect in the first few months.
A little bit to Q2. Like Splatoon 3 is slated for summer.
And I did realize there was one with a September release date too.
Which one?
I saw it like near the end. It was near the end. It was one of the like Fire Emblem or
Fire
something.
Emblem.
There was something in September, but still. But mostly, Q1.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited that Splatoon 3 was still in it because I'm hoping they didn't have a did they give it a hard release date? I don't think they did.
I don't remember one, but I feel like isn't it slated for summer?
It is. So I
feel like July.
Really, the only thing I was thinking was that hopefully this means it's coming out in early summer rather than late summer.
Yeah,
they're probably going to definitely try to catch like summer school vacation for kids.
Sure,
because loads of kids love Splatoon, so it's like you want to have your game out when they're not in school,
right.
So that they can waste the adults who are also playing during Splat. Oh my God, Splatfest.
They're coming back.
Yeah, that really is just now hitting me that Splatfests are coming back. I'm so excited. I was already excited, but now I'm like, Splatfest.
Another reason to play, another reason to be looking forward to it.
I can't wait to add to my Amiibo collection. So the one that didn't make the wall because I want to keep her at home with me, she's at my home office setup, is my Inkling girl from Splatoon 2. Nice. She's got the short pink hairstyle, which I love, and the dualies, the dual wield weapons. Yeah, she's staying at home. She's
very cool.
She's not... I can't
She's
put
not
her
Team
somewhere
Chat Wall
else.
worthy.
Yeah, she's too good.
I get it. I got a lot of stuff that's not Team Chat Wall worthy.
It's all the stuff you can't see. It's all screen. There's so much of it, you guys.
We should this is actually kind of fun. Like bring something from our collection. We should do that like every week. Like talk about one of our favorite pieces. Of stuff
this is fun
because that was pretty fun.
The things that don't apply to video
that would
games
be fun.
that I also found my ancient Sailor Mercury plushie.
Oh, that's cool.
And she comes. I don't think they weren't a set, obviously, but I also found a little small plastic Luna from Sailor Moon 2.
Aww.
She's so cute.
That's
so
cool.
I'll have to bring them along. Maybe I'll just sneak Luna onto the wall.
I mean, yeah.
There definitely had to be a Sailor Moon video game at one point
I'm sure.
in time.
I mean, but
also
one. If not, like show off your favorite collectibles. Whatever. Who cares? But what else? What else were we excited to see from there? Oh, obviously the big thing that blew us away. We're just doing a quick recap of our big moments for the people who haven't seen our reactions vid, but you should check it out on youtube.com/TeamChatPodcast. Wii Sports. Nintendo Switch Sports.
Oh my
back.
God, Wii Sports.
The announcement no one saw coming, but everyone said, yes, we like that.
It's the only thing I care. Not the only thing I care about.
There were other cool stuff,
so
like the Force
excited.
Unleashed coming.
Yeah.
We did get the release date for Advance Wars, which is the thing going into it that I was looking forward to getting. But I don't know. Maybe the pundits elsewhere in video game industry knew, but we were like, surprise!
No, totally blindsided.
Totally a huge shock, and I cannot wait.
Yeah.
April 29th, I believe, is the release date. Can't wait to get to play it.
And then Advance Wars, it's coming out in March, right? You got a March release date?
It might be April as well. I want to say April 8th.
Never mind. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I could be wrong. But anyway. But yeah, so we got that. That'll be coming out soon. A lot of good stuff coming out. Yeah, Force Unleashed coming to Switch. No Man's Sky coming to Switch. So lots of big stuff actually in that. But I think the Switch Sports takes the cake for sure. Because that was just got the volleyball looks awesome. It's got the sword fighting. It's got the bowling. It's got all the things you know and love.
I also love that the specificity of Nintendo's weird games that show off their cool hardware always force their poor aging CEOs to like come out and like do little
the fun stuff. I
demonstrations.
know.
It's like, I'm sure, I do really want to know, is this fun for them? Like, are they having fun? Or is this just like, oh God,
know.
not again?
I'd hope so. I would love it.
It looks to me like they're having fun, but part of me is like, does someone bring this up in the board meeting? And they're like, no.
And they're like, oh, damn it, again?
Like, they know it's required. They're like, we definitely have to do it, but we're not happy about
Yeah.
it. I just want to know. Just tell me.
Who knows? Maybe so. That'd be fun, though. I would love to get to do like tech demos like that of the video
I
games
love
and
it
stuff.
too.
Oh,
So
it'd
fun.
be so fun. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. Check out our Reacts video if you want, or check out the other stuff. But let us know what some of your favorite things from the Nintendo Direct were, and what you're most excited looking forward to exciting. I still can't talk.
Jared, what are you doing?
Looking forward to playing the most. There it is. Good God. Let's get into the main topic.
You know
of the
what?
day.
Looking forward to excite is my new my new tagline.
Just sometimes the words get jumbled up in the old brain.
Yeah.
They just don't come out correct.
Struggle bussin'.
Struggle bussin'.
Speaking of the struggle bus,
Yeah.
let's talk about our first impressions
Perfect.
today.
First impressions of SIFU.
We had a blast. Like, time usually flies when we're doing our co-op streams.
Always.
We had team chat
Always
plays
a great
last
time.
week on a Friday because we both really wanted to play SIFU. And the time always goes by really quickly. With SIFU, it was like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, what do you mean it's time to stop? I'm not done. And
I guess we could have gone on longer, but we had already gone
I was
like
getting
2
hungry.
hours.
Yeah, I was getting hungry, but it's just like, that is a fun
Super
game.
fun game.
Let's talk
Like-
about this incredible game from an indie studio.
Yeah, Sloclap.
Sloclap.
The previous big game that came from them is Absolver, which was more of a. I want to say it, if I remember correctly, Absolver is like also a combat, like melee combat fighting game, but more of a live service based game where it had like content
Was it?
updates, like stuff like that is more of how you play this one. But SIFU is its own contained single player story where you play as the protagonist going through to avenge their father after they were killed.
Not a spoiler.
Not a
Happens in the
spoiler,
beginning.
happens at the literal very beginning. It's
literally the
literally
premise
setting
of
the
the game.
stage for the game. Yeah. So we won't go into details necessarily of how that happens for you, but and so then basically it's a roguelite is what I would kind of describe it really.
I think so.
because it with the fun mechanic that every time you die in the game, you age. And the age that you're at it that you gain is the number of deaths that you've already accumulated.
Yes.
And you have like this medallion.
It's like a charm.
A charm.
It's
yes.
like a charm made up of like gold coins.
Yes.
And they're wrapped around in this really beautiful way. And I think you get 4 or 5 of them, right?
5.
5. So there are 5 coins on your charm. And basically you get a couple of tries with each coin until they eventually explode, signifying that you are running out of age that you can continue to
Yeah.
go. You can't get to age 420. You can only get to age...
That's a new goal.
Yeah, that's a new goal.
I already
Get
made it to age
420.
69 pretty easily.
Pretty easy.
Let's shoot for 420. Let's go. But yeah, so you start off at 20 years old. And as you go through, so like the first time you die and you have to start again, you gain a year. Well, the next time you die, you've died twice. So then you gain 2 years. So then you see how it slowly adds on and adds on. Defeating certain bosses does lower.
Not even bosses,
not
more like
true.
mini bosses.
It's like certain stages or progression areas in the game, I guess, that death counter will lower. So then you'll age slower.
Yeah.
So
Did we ever figure out if that was or was not tied to the enemies that kind of had that glowing aura around them?
I don't think they were.
Okay.
Because I feel like, it was just like, I feel like it's like certain levels of progression, but maybe it is. Maybe it is like bosses, mini bosses kind of thing.
Because I felt like there were periods when you and I were playing that we were going through like little gauntlets of just lots of small enemies, and we would like reduce it by 2.
I wonder if it has to do something with your multiplier.
Oh, maybe.
Your score multiplier
Yeah,
that you
there's
get.
a lot. There's so many factors to consider with what goes into your score in this game. But let's keep talking about the aging.
We're jumping
first.
all around. But basically, so yeah, it's you go through these stages, and there are 5 different stages.
And they're related to the enemies, like the big bads.
Right. That are set up in like the prologue events of the game at the very opener. And so so you got those 5 areas, and you basically have to like try to go through all 5 areas in one life and not die.
Yeah.
I mean,
one life being the life that you live
the life
as
that you
a young
live
to an
from
old person.
20 years old to 80, however old you make it in the game.
So a couple of funny things about that some people pointed out in the stream that I really wouldn't even have considered. So the charm that your character is carrying is in fact magical because someone was like, hey, are the enemies around you aging with you? And I was like, good question. They don't. So your little aging factor only affects you. And there are a couple of interesting perks that come with it that I would have never noticed if other people hadn't pointed them out. When you're younger, you can take more hits because you're young and you kind of have like those spongy collagen-filled bones that can spring back really easily.
Yep.
So you're a little bit harder to kill when you're really young. Meanwhile, when you're older, big hits hurt and you die fast when you're old. But because you're more experienced and you're a more advanced SIFU, you can dole out much more powerful hits, which I was way too busy dying to actually look at enemies' health bars and my own health bar and put two and two together that I was dealing more damage and conversely taking more damage.
Well, when you die as you get older, so wait, have we finished before we jump into all the various mechanics? There are a lot of little mechanics in this game.
There are.
But so before we jump into that, have we covered like the basic premise yet? So you go, it's basically roguelite. You die, you start back over, you lose any power-ups, you lose any benefits you gained, and you start fresh back at age 20.
Well, so I do kind of want to clarify that when we're saying the word die, what we mean is you get to an age
Game
that
over
you cannot
defeat.
come back from. Yeah, that's a game over. If you actually just kind of get KO'd, we'll say, while you're still young-ish, like young enough to keep going and you have hits left on your charm, you come back right in the moment where you died. So the enemies that you're fighting will even be like, why won't you die?
Yeah.
And it's like,
why are you 20 years older?
Yeah, it's like, sucks for you, bitch. I'm still
Rip
going.
Van Winkle, what are you doing here?
So you come back right in the moment that you died, and it saves all of your progress up till then. So any enemies that you had already killed, they stay dead. And any that you were actively fighting that you had done some damage to, that damage remains.
Yeah.
So you do actually have a little bit of an advantage by dying because you come back and you have a full health bar. But obviously there are the cons that come along with that.
Ripple on down the line. Like the best run of the first area, like going through the first area, beating the first boss that I've had, I got to last night, and I beat it by age 34. And that was good.
Not bad.
I was doing pretty good.
We're almost there, Jared. We're almost as old as our
my God.
Oh, God.
My heart.
I mean, just thinking about like, oh man, I could never. Are you kidding me? I would die on the spot. My ankles would just crumble to dust beneath me.
Just like go to do a kick and your support ankle just totally gives out. You're like, ah!
It's like my orthotics.
Dr. Scholes, I need you. But it's just got, so obviously the main draw of this game is the combat of it. And that gameplay loop, which for me, super satisfying.
Yeah, we've only been talking about the age mechanics so far, but the actual martial arts that go into it are stunning.
Like, it's awesome to me that you see that pedigree that Sloclap built by having Absolver, and they took that and they learned all the things that they wanted to keep and refine. And you know, they took it from that big multiplayer live service arena to now this like focused single player
like
story.
A very
and you can see that focus,
concise, super focused.
Because,
definitely agree.
Man, the combat controls are tight. There are a lot of them. There are combos out the wazoo.
People weren't kidding about like that fighting game analogy because you actually have a move list.
Yeah.
If you hit start and you pause it, your move list is there. And it's obviously not anywhere near as long as something like a real fighting game, but it's enough that you forget that you have certain moves.
Yeah.
And that's
you
not
add
even,
to it as the game goes on.
That's not even to consider the power-ups that you can get that give you more moves on top of that. And oh my God, we haven't even talked about the parrying system yet. God. The bane of my existence.
It's hard.
It's Dark Souls 1 all over again.
I will say, yes. But also, I will say that I feel like I got better at it and understand it a little bit better now since I've got my hands on it a few more times since our stream and everything. Like, I was fighting the first boss. And you know how we were getting confused when we were like, oh, how do you block? Like, what was that about? Like blocking high attacks or low attacks or whatever. So I figured it out. If you want to just straight up parry, you cannot move the left stick.
Oh, maybe. Oh, okay.
Because
I still doubt that was my problem.
Like a full-on block. Right. I kind of don't think it was either for me. Timing is obviously better. But like, because you still have to get the timing of when you hit the button. That was a good pop.
I had a really good one at the ballet last night, and it echoed really loud. I was like, the acoustics.
Causes the show to stop.
It's like, it's fine, everybody. Anyways, it's neither here nor there.
But, I almost made it.
Sorry,
Lincoln?
what were we talking
President Lincoln. I had to do it. Anyway, get down, Mr. President. But anyway, so
The boss
if you're
that we
going
were
to block
fighting,
it,
yeah.
yes. So you're doing the first block, the first boss. So basically, if you have to get the timing right when you hit L1 to do the parry, but if you do the holding the left button and then using the left analog stick, left bumper,
It's
L1,
like the little dodge.
is the dodge. So which I figured out and was starting to figure out how to use really well. I'm fighting the first boss. He's very up in your face. He's doing a lot of quick punches and kicks. And I was able to stand there and literally stand in place, both of us standing there. And I'm just like dodging
like those
and moving all
boxer
this
dodges.
stuff. Yes.
Okay.
So like just avoiding and dodging, but still like staying in the same place, and not having to use the jump back, the R2 dodge.
That was my strat the whole time, was because I was like, I kept getting dodge and guard and all of the other buttons confused with each other because I just hadn't had enough practice time.
Yeah.
So that's really good to know that that's actually an OP strat.
Yeah. So it was really cool. Like I'm slowly
getting better. You're getting
better.
good.
Yeah.
You're
Slowly,
literally
like,
you're doing
figuring
the
out
gamer get good.
I will say I am getting to the point too where I'm ready, because you have the option. Another facet of this is that when you die, every time you get knocked down, let's say a KO. Let's clarify. We'll say KOs are when you lose a medallion, a death counter, all
Versus
that
a
stuff.
game over.
Versus a game over. When you get KO'd and before you get back up, you have the chance to use your XP to buy new
Yes.
upgrades. Those can be upgrades either like a new combo, a focus move, because as you fight, you build up your focus that you can then activate by holding left trigger, L2.
Yeah.
And then you can like reposition the attack for which focus attack you want to use
And
using
it's
the
like
left
based
analog
on
stick.
anatomy. So you
Right.
can aim for the eye. These are basically special moves.
Right.
You can aim for the eyes, their solar plexus, maybe
Legs.
kneecaps. Yeah, there's all
Yeah.
kinds of different ones.
And that uses up that bar depending on how you use them. So you have all these different moves at your disposal, but then you can also then buy these upgrades every time you get KO'd. And so then that adds more to your move list. You can also then permanently unlock those, I think. So even in later runs, I believe those will still be open or still automatically be added to your list. I think. I could be wrong.
Because I was really
Because then
having a
what's the
hard
difference?
time
I don't understand the
determining-
difference then if you have just the unlock or the permanent unlock.
Yeah, I was having a really hard time gauging what counted as a perma unlock versus the ones that all went away when you got game overed.
Right.
So I don't have that.
Haven't
figured
experimented
out.
with that yet because I don't want to like permanently unlock the wrong one too soon. But I think I have.
What if you made the worst decision with the
Right,
perma
like, this
unlock
is-
and you're
this
like,
is terrible.
fuck.
But I have the like our pop kick where it was like left stick.
Oh, yeah, left,
forward.
left, pop.
Yeah, left pop to do the kick, and then the leg sweep focus move. I think
Sweep the leg.
those are the first two ones that I'm gonna do as permanent.
We went
unlocks.
with both the
because I
chump
keep trying to
moves.
use them and I don't have them.
Yeah. So this isn't even to speak of the other special things that you can unlock when you find a shrine.
Yes.
So there are little shrines all over the place and a permanent one at your like home base, which you go back to once you've defeated any level or you've game overed and you wind up back at the start. And shrines give you buffs to things like your HP, your guard, for lack of a better, what are they? Stature?
Yes, stature.
They call
structure?
it structure.
Structure.
Yeah, basically the amount of hits that you can take before your guard breaks, so that you can guard before your guard breaks. Your structure, your weapon proficiency, very helpful.
Focus.
Because
you can have it like start with half a bar of focus
yeah,
already
that's right.
pre-filled.
Yeah, weapon accurate proficiency, focus, and there I
Health.
feel like there was a fourth one that I'm forgetting.
No, those are the three categories because there were ones
Okay.
you would use XP to buy some. You would use score, your like level score to buy
your
some,
multiplier.
and then age would determine what you could get. In those.
So this is another really important factor to consider, which we didn't really figure out at the beginning.
Yeah.
There are certain moves that can only be unlocked below a certain age threshold. So there's a whole section of moves that you can only unlock if you have enough XP or whatever score that you need to unlock them below the age of 30.
Yeah.
So it's like, so if you've
Gotta get
already
those
died
quick.
a lot, those are permanently not available to you for the rest of that run.
Yep.
And they like that goes up and up and up to like 40, 60. So those thresholds are something to keep your eye on, because you might be looking at a move and you're like, I definitely want that one.
Yeah.
And then you age out of it and it's like, oops,
Not
never
this
mind. Not this run.
Yeah.
Got to circle back.
I will say one of the nice things too that has helped me want to, because I will say that like roguelites are not my specialty in types of games to play. Like I remember playing Rogue Legacy and dropping that one pretty quick because I just got so frustrated feeling like I couldn't make progress.
You made a lot of progress with Hades.
I have. I'm in like my 60th run of Hades, but I still haven't cleared it. So like, what the hell am I doing wrong there? So I know I'm like kind of already anticipating that same kind of thing with SIFU. But the nice thing I will say, if you clear the first area and then die in the second, you have the option to start back at the age that you started.
Oh, at the second area. So if you had a really good run on the first level,
you don't necessarily have to go back to that.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Okay.
But what's nice is because then you obviously can get a lot of practice with the first area because it's the first area.
Oh, you're going to be so good at that first area.
Right. Now, say like where I'm at now, because I got that run where I would say I was done with the first area at age 34. Cool. Now I can go. Now, granted, if I restart completely, I lose that progress. But until I do, I can play the second area starting at age 34.
That's really good.
And actually like get some really good progress and practice there.
That's awesome.
So if I ever when I do need to finally rerun, like, okay, I'm stuck. I can't get past this part because I'm 85 years old and just not doing anything.
It's just too far.
So now it's time to restart. I at least have good solid practice. I've practiced knowing what like abilities and whatnot to unlock. So the game is, I feel like it's forgiving, but also I know there's still a very long road ahead.
It's very challenging. And speaking of practice, I do want to point out that the game also has a built-in, not necessarily freely available, but you can kind of go back to it anytime you're at your home base, a built-in practice mode.
Yes.
So you can practice against AI for specific moves in your moveset, which is really like, that's a necessary feature, and I'm so glad it's in there. Because even just the timing on like the low sweep, if you're not practiced at that, you're not going to use it in combat, and it's really, really helpful. So actually being able to practice with your combos outside of the high stakes, you're actually going to die situation, very helpful.
Very helpful.
I also loved that we kind of glazed over this, but it was something that was super fun. The opening credits being built into the tutorial. It was so stylish.
Yes, you gotta see it.
The music was off the chain.
So good.
It was phenomenal.
The opening credits just like start, and they kind of start abruptly, but like it like flows perfectly from like the prologue opening scene into the opening credits.
It's basically your training montage. It's your movie training montage, and it's like, this fucking rules.
Oh, it was so good.
What a good feeling. What it feels good, man.
Opening credit sequence.
Amazing.
Like it sets the tone perfectly. It's so good. But yeah, I have loved every bit of it. Speaking of the music, the soundtrack for the game is
awesome.
Chef's kiss. Mwah.
Let me look up the composer.
It's great.
You keep
Howie
talking.
Lee.
Oh, Howie Lee. Okay, awesome.
I bought the digital deluxe version of SIFU, which comes with the soundtrack.
Oh, so jealous.
I was listening to it this morning just to like, get a little bit more of it and get a better idea. It is a bop. 100% banger. It slaps.
Yeah.
It's
amazing.
So good. It's kind of gives me vibes of Katana Zero, where it is like kind of that synthwave electronic feel to it. Obvious with some Chinese musical influences into the game as well, which just like really hits well.
All right, if we didn't specify, the game takes place in China.
Yes.
I don't think we
didn't. We never did. We never did specify. So yes, 30 minutes into this, it takes place in China.
It takes place in China.
But yeah, so it has like some Chinese musical influences as well. Very, very well done.
Yeah.
The scene, there's a part in the second stage of the game where
I haven't gotten that far
yet.
yet.
You did.
Oh,
you
okay.
Did.
At the club?
Yes.
The club?
At the club on the dance floor. That like the music there and just like the tone of how that, and now especially like how I play that section, it feels like I'm playing John Wick, and it's the coolest thing ever because the music feels like it's pulled straight from that. The action feels like it's pulled straight from that. So I think actually in our chat during our team chat plays, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Brandon.
He's always got the good insights.
It could have been Doodle Abides as well.
Oh, he had bad insights. 0 out of 10.
But
let's just drag our supporters and patrons here on the air.
I want to say it was Brandon, or somebody said that they should make a John Wick game like this game.
They should.
It was like a missed opportunity. I can't. I apologize if you are listening to this and
if you're the one that gave that suggestion.
Please let us know. I'll correct it. But yeah, I remember somebody said that, and I was like, damn, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But it's just been a incredible experience. One that I'm glad I picked it up.
I'm glad you picked it up too,
I
because
was a little
otherwise I
worried.
probably never would have gotten the chance to try it.
Yeah.
And now this is a game that I'm going to get
Yes.
one way or another.
Well, and it's nice too. It's also PS5 release, but comes out on the PS4.
It is on PS4,
Has the ability
yes.
for the upgrade to the PS5 when you can, and also PC on the Epic Game Store.
Oh, okay.
So you've got a couple different options.
Maybe
there.
I wouldn't
Sorry,
suck as hard
Xbox,
on PS. Oh.
But yeah, I honestly kind of had that thought.
Like, would we be less?
we be better on
Would
PC?
we be more competent on PC?
But the only way I could think about that is maybe, I don't know, but I can't tell how, like, I kind of like the
I feel
feel
like
of
for
the
me
controller.
it's a no, because I'm so used to playing fighting games
Exactly.
with the controller.
I feel like moving that to
Yeah.
mouse keyboard would be weird.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
granted, I
wouldn't-
guess you can still plug in a controller,
It's not, no.
but like
Pass.
I don't. Yeah.
Hard pass.
If
Also,
I'm playing a game on the computer, I want to play mouse keyboard.
yeah.
Damn it!
And speaking of something that we haven't really touched on yet, and we don't have to go that deep into, but the graphics are so pretty.
So pretty.
This
What
is
would
a
you call
pretty-
the like stop? Is it? It's not cell shaded.
It's not cell
But it
shaded,
looks-
but it has like a super high poly, almost cell shaded look to it, because everything is really bold. The character models are a little bit, I don't want to say blocky, because I feel like that gives the wrong impression.
It's just
they're very stylized.
Stylized, yes. It's like there will be.
It almost looks like
This
a
is when
comic
we're not
book.
like yes.
Yeah.
This is when like a graphic novel kind of thing. This is when we're us not being artists. We
don't have the
We don't know
words.
what this means, but it's basically like,
Everything has really bold outlining,
Yes.
really bold coloring. It's a highly
but not like
stylized
with the black
game.
outline,
No,
like you would see normally in comic stuff. It's just like there will be like skin tones, and I don't know. We're giving too much into it. Basically, like kind of a cell shaded graphic novel look to it.
The point
it looks
is, it's
fantastic.
beautiful.
Yes.
The part in the first section where there's phase 2 of the boss fight
Yes.
and the environment changes. What a fun!
good.
That was a fun fight.
Very good
I
fight.
love that phase 2. I wish more enemies had like prettier phase 2s instead of just everything goes straight to shit.
Right? It just gets more and more
Yeah.
terrible for you. I mean, granted, it does. In
It
this one
does,
too.
but-
It gets harder. It gets more terrible. But yeah, no, I agree. The changes. I'm excited to see where the rest of the bosses go. For sure.
Yeah.
Because I haven't made it to the second one yet, and I have a feeling
Sean?
Sean? Yeah, he's
God,
gonna be a toughie.
The second boss is just named Sean. And it's like, what? How did he get here? Sean, what is you doing, baby?
But yeah, so it's been a ride.
If you can't tell, we are obviously in love with SIFU.
I'm not
And
giving it a score though until I finish it.
Yeah,
I
I mean-
hate it by the end.
You might. I mean, we never know. But our first impressions of it, which are pretty solid.
Yeah,
we got.
I mean, I feel like we know the mechanics.
Yeah,
now. It's just
we
seeing
know
how it
what's
plays
happening.
out.
I think it's just an incredible game, and just what a fun entry in not Absolvers, in Sloclap's repertoire.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what a nice change
Well-
of pace, and just a cool thing for them to work on and put so much heart into.
Yeah.
You can tell that they really put a lot of heart and soul into the game.
I agree, and two, it's just like their lineup is now pretty solid. Like Absolver was received really well. Sifu's being received very well as well.
Oh yeah, people
So,
love SIFU,
like-
for good reason.
Yeah, like it's justified. I was staying like, other than the trailers and everything of it too. Like I was kind of like hadn't paid much attention to it outside of like, I want to try it. It looks fun. I haven't, but I didn't go much deeper into that
Yeah.
before the game came out. And so obviously I'd seen the good feedback and reviews it was getting. But man, it's nice when you play the game for the first time and it lives up to that hype.
And if you're one of those people that looks at like official gaming reviews and you're like, sounds fake, which I am, I'm very suspicious. I'm very sus, as the kids say.
You'll notice that we really don't give a numbered review. We
never
used to.
do.
We
Yeah.
used to. We tried.
We don't do that
But now
anymore.
we just like talk about what we like and what we didn't like and let you all make your choice for yourselves.
Yeah. The point is, if you think that those reviews are like fake or they're based on affiliations, which a lot of them are, the hype is real. The
Yeah.
hype is real for this game.
100%.
It's a very well made and very fun experience. And it does definitely feel punishing at times, but we made so much progress just in the 2 hours.
And we only did 2 runs.
Yeah, and we only
did
did
like
2
the prologue,
runs.
the opening, like some training stuff, and then we
Yeah.
did 2 runs through it, and
Yeah.
we made
And we
solid
both, because we were
progress.
just trading the controller back and forth like
Right.
every time we got a KO.
Yeah.
So we both made significant progress in that time. So even if it feels impossible at first, you will get better.
Yeah.
You'll improve, and it'll feel more and more fun the more expertise you build up in your move sets.
Yeah, and I'm getting pretty far. Like the progress I've made, I will say, has been made primarily by me button mashing. So when I actually like take the time and be like, I'm not using my focus attacks. I'm not using my dodge, and like actually think through it and implement those into the gameplay. Oh my God. Like it just really starts popping off.
I feel like this actually immediately helped improve my approach to Kana. Because a lot of the bosses in Kana are really hard. And I kind of took the stuff that I had just learned from SIFU of like, oh yeah, I've got guard and dodge. I need to be using those more.
Yep.
And I've gotten through a couple of other bosses since then, and it's like, that probably did help. You do actually got to guard and dodge.
It helps.
Sometimes you can't just stand there menacingly.
It actually helps.
It actually helps. Who knew?
But yeah, SIFU's incredible. I'm having a blast with it. Can't wait to get further into it.
And it's not full priced. We didn't even mention that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's
not
a $40 game.
Yeah, I think the deluxe edition is $50. So yeah, it's not even like the full $75 for a PS5 game right now.
So no reason not to. Well, not no reason, but fewer reasons to not pick it up than with other games.
$35 less reasons to get it. It's incredible. Support Sloclap and let us know what you think. Send us an email at teamchatpodcast@gmail.com. Jump over onto the Discord, talk about it with us there. Comment below wherever you're listening to or watching the show. And we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
But I think that wraps up. Unless you have any other notes on the game so far.
I think we covered all the important
covered it so far. We'll circle back around once we finish her up eventually, whenever that will be. I'm not counting on that being anytime soon.
No.
We'll provide updates along the way. But I think with that, everybody, that wraps up this episode of Team Chat Podcast. Thanks for joining us this week, and we'll be back next week with another exciting episode. But until then, we'll see you next time.